This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Good evening. I'm Amanda Starantino. We start with breaking news.
I'm Mark Mullins. Police have arrested a teacher and coach in the Northwest Hendricks County School District. Tri-West High School's Tyler Bruce faces preliminary charges of child seduction and obstruction of justice. Call 6 Investigates has been following this situation for months. Bruce is accused of sexual misconduct with a student. He had been under investigation since May 2019 and unpaid administrative leave since July. The district's handling of the accusations, including the decision not to terminate Bruce, upset many parents and community members.
The victim's parents spoke to Call 6 back in August. Tonight, they released a statement saying, quote, "We are encouraged that law enforcement, along with the Hendricks County Prosecutor's Office, are taking the necessary steps to hold Mr. Bruce accountable for his actions. As parents of students that attended Northwest Hendricks County School, our #1 concern is the safety of all students. Unfortunately, these criminal charges and the current federal investigation show the school system has a long way to go. We are hopeful that this is a first step in the right direction." And the school district declined to comment tonight. You can read much more about this case on our website at theindychannel.com.
New tonight, Indianapolis Public Schools bus drivers and their union are asking for more respect and more information. This comes after the district informed 135 members of its transportation staff that their jobs will be eliminated. Another 550 drivers from contractor Durham School Services are also losing their routes to a new company called First Student. The district says the change will save millions of dollars. Tonight, RTV6's Cameron Riddle is taking drivers' concerns to district leaders.
As IPS prepares to outsource all of its 305 school bus routes, the people who are currently driving those buses are left with more questions than answers.
They announced it to us and then all of a sudden said it's no negotiation.
Union leaders from the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees is speaking on behalf of hundreds of IPS and Durham school bus drivers who were just told their jobs are being outsourced to a new contractor called First Student. Leaders say they were blindsided by the decision that affects 685 drivers, monitors, and supervisors, all just months after finishing a new bargaining agreement with IPS.
To hear all of a sudden after we thought was a great negotiations, a great conversation that led to some significant increases for transportation and talk about new buses, and then all of a sudden, wham, we hear this news Friday. So it's pretty surprising.
The driver union says the details of the new contract with First Student was never shared before the news broke late Friday. Union Vice President Stephen Quick is concerned because it means big changes for the workers who drive a bus every day to feed their families. He says the majority of those drivers are black women who lead their households. He says the notion that everyone will still have a job come July is far from accurate.
The numbers are not adding up. If we got almost 700 employees and they only offering 335 jobs, that's a challenge.
The union is looking forward to having a meeting with district leaders later this week, especially after I informed them that the company their jobs are going to could possibly be put up for sale.
No, nobody's mentioned that.
That'd be a good topic for Friday's meeting.
Absolutely.
Scott Martin, IPS's chief operations officer, says the potential sale of First Student is an event the district is aware and prepared for.
Any contract that's in place has to be honored, and so no matter what happens to it, but we're confident that things are going to stay exactly the same.
Working for you in Indianapolis, Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
Well, the IPS board will take a final vote on the transportation plan at its executive session on Thursday evening. We will let you know what happens then.
Good news for your morning commute if you live or work in downtown Indianapolis. All lanes of Pennsylvania Street are back open. Citizens Energy closed lanes between New York and Washington Streets last week for sewer repair work.
Now to the forecast. Temperatures are in the 30s at this hour. Storm Team 6 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory is tracking another cloudy day ahead. Kevin.
Temperatures have not wandered much today, anywhere from 31 to 34. We're at 32 now, light wind. There are the clouds that Mark spoke of. They're going nowhere. We've been able to squeeze some very light flurries out of the clouds this evening. First thing in the morning at the bus stop, couple of flurries, temperature at 30, 35 the afternoon high temperature for Indianapolis. And during the day, can't rule out a few flurries through the morning. 35 will be the afternoon high with lots of cloud cover. Look what happens. We have a slow warm up. I'll talk about when that warm up accelerates, and it's significant coming up.
The search continues at this hour for 3 suspects wanted in connection to the shooting that left a subway worker dead last night. These are surveillance pictures from the restaurant near 75th and Shadeland on the northeast side of Indianapolis. Police say 35-year-old Ashok Kumar was shot and killed in an attempted robbery. Employees at nearby businesses are shaken up by this violence. Hans Pizarro, who knew the victim, works at a pizza place in the same shopping complex where the shooting happened. He says he's been robbed at gunpoint twice.
I scared for my life because I got only support in my family. Yeah, so I take care of my family, so I got my daughters.
If you recognize the suspects or have any other information, you can call Crime Stoppers anonymously at 317-262-TIPS.
Metro Police are also looking for a suspect accused of shooting at police during a chase through the north side. Investigators say the pursuit started after officers tried to stop a car because its license plates did not match the vehicle. The chase started around 2:30 this afternoon near East 32nd Street and North Keystone Avenue. It ended near West 32nd and MLK. That suspect got away. Detectives released this picture of the car involved in the chase. They say it's silver and may have recent damage to either side. The car has an In God We Trust license plate number ATJ 371. And Fishers police want to know if you recognize a bank robbery suspect. This man is accused of showing a gun and robbing the Regions Bank on 116th Street near Aliceville Road just before 3:30 this afternoon. No injuries are reported.
Back in November, we told you about the historic election of these 4 city-county councilors. Allie Brown, Keith Potts, Ethan Evans, and Zach Adamson are all members of the LGBTQ community. RTV6's Cornelius Hawker explains how they're hoping to use their background and experience to make Indianapolis a better place for everyone.
Tonight, around 40 people came together to hear from these 4 people, city-county councilors who not only represent their constituents, but also the LGBTQ community.
Having a council that's full of LGBTQ people, people of color, women, all these diverse voices, there's a lot of compassion for people who are often left off the table.
That's Allie Brown, counselor for District 5. Although this meet and greet was geared toward the LGBTQ community, Allie wants people to know she represents everyone.
I have 40-ish thousand people who live in my district who rely on me to make sure that their roads are taken care of, that they feel safe in their home.
While representing everyone, she knows how she identifies allows her to bring a different perspective to the city-county building.
We've had to compromise with people who didn't think we were worth anything. So it makes it so we understand how to reach across the aisle. We understand how to talk with people who think differently than us.
While we might see policies, ordinances, resolutions that specifically are aimed at or aimed toward benefiting one population or one community, it's because that community needs to be lifted up.
Keith Potts is the counselor for District 2. He tells me for so long, those making decisions for our city didn't have the unique perspective these 4 bring to the table, so people should expect change.
Intentional policy decisions created some of the inequities, most and all of the inequities that we see, so it's going to take intentional policy decisions to rectify them.
Keith and Allie agree, coming to events like this gives them a chance to meet the people who voted for them. But they say many of the questions they got tonight are dependent on legislators at the State House rather than the City County Council.
What we need is a state legislature who not only wants to empower everyone, those who are different from them, but we also need a state legislature who wants to empower our cities to advocate for themselves.
Working for you in Indianapolis. Cornelius Hawker, RTV6.
Now covering the State House, a bill that would take some power away from local prosecutors is headed to the full Senate. Senate Bill 436 would allow the state's attorney general to appoint a special prosecutor if a county prosecutor decides not to file charges in crimes as a matter of policy. For example, late last year, Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears announced his office would not charge people for marijuana possession of less than 1 ounce. The proposal would apply to that policy. A Senate committee listened to testimony on this issue today.
This also undermines what's a long-standing principle in Indiana, which is the home rule. We are a very strong home rule state. We do in every area of public service, we strongly leave the local deciders to make the decisions that they believe are best for the community, including deciding what resources should be used to prosecute certain offenses.
We can't have prosecutors going around saying, I'm not going to prosecute this crime at all. They are not the General Assembly. Their job, their oath, is to enforce those laws and prosecute those laws.
The committee passed the bill. The author of the bill says the legislation was already in the works when Mears made his announcement in September.
When the impeachment trial of President Trump resumes tomorrow, senators will have the opportunity to ask questions. They'll have 16 hours to do that over the next 2 days. The president faces 2 articles of impeachment: abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. His legal team wrapped up its opening argument today.
They've repeatedly said over and over again, a quote from Benjamin Franklin, "It's a republic if you can keep it." And every time I heard it, I said to myself, it's a republic if they let us keep it. And I have every confidence in your wisdom.
Majority Leader. A vote on whether to allow witnesses in the trial is expected on Friday.
Gotten used to free shipping and one-day shipping and, give it to me right now, and maybe that can't continue.
Coming up, how a nationwide shortage of truck drivers could impact your deliveries and how much you pay for them.
I think it's awesome how many people showed up for one student, because it could be any of us.
Ball State students step up after a professor called police to a classroom. Now supporters are demanding change.
For just $169 a month.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Why am I being moved? No answer. You can move or we can call the police.
A student who was forced to face police after a professor called officers to his classroom helps to rally for change. We first showed you this video of the incident recorded by a classmate last Tuesday. Hundreds of Ball State students attended a campus walkout today, voicing their concerns and standing in solidarity with the student at the center of what happened. A few raindrops did not drown out the voices of Ball State students.
The purpose of this event is to call attention to the wrong misconduct of Professor Borna.
They want the university to take more action after a professor called police to a classroom because a student would not move seats.
All right, you want to sit here or do you want to leave?
He's been on the lesson the whole time. He's been on our work.
That student, Sultan Benson, shared his story in front of supporters.
You gonna call the police while I'm paying attention to what you're teaching? You gonna call the police while the rest of these students out here trying to learn?
Benson fears what could have happened.
I could have been perceived as a threat. I'm not a threat to anybody.
Classmates like Drew Panky Wallace and Nigel Jones agree and say the issue is much bigger than one incident.
It's a pretty big deal if you think about it in the overall big picture. Something like this happening.
Ball State is the school I go to, and for something like this to happen to a student at a school that I go to, and this is supposed to be a school of diversity, I just felt like that wasn't being lived up to with the actions that were taken.
Fellow students were not the only ones in the crowd. Professors and even the university president showed up.
Somebody told me that President Marnes is out here. I want to thank him for attending, listening to us. We do need results, though. Thank you.
Well, a Ball State spokesperson tells RTV6 University President Jeffrey Mears is not releasing any additional statements at this time regarding the video or walkout. But last week, he sent a letter to students calling on the professor's decision to call police, quote, a gross error of judgment, and it was simply an unwarranted overreaction. Well, the letter also says university leaders met with the professor and, quote, established corrective actions, including appropriate training. President Mears also outlined plans to meet with Benson and student leaders, seek guidance from the Black Faculty and Staff Association on how to create a more inclusive campus community, and meet with community leaders. Student activists are calling for the professor to retire early and perform community service, conflict and sensitivity training for all faculty, and a new campus-funded student committee to advocate for student issues.
Now in the Storm Team 6 Tracking Center, Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory. And Kevin, I think at this point, I don't even know where my sunglasses are anymore. I'd like to take them out out sometime soon?
Maybe Thursday, and then it may be a while ago.
Okay.
All right, we'll pick your hopes up. We'll pick the temperature up without adding too much in the way of sunshine. But if you're looking for sunshine, not tomorrow, Thursday may be our day where we see a little more. Notice the temperature trend climbing by Friday. I want to jump ahead for a second and just talk about what will be a fairly significant warm-up. Should be well into the 50s Monday and potentially Tuesday. I say potentially because it's possible colder air will sweep in before that. But right now I've got it coming in on Wednesday, which would give us an extra day there, Monday and Tuesday, with temperatures this warm. 55 Monday. Tuesday, rain chances will go up. Temperature in the 50s, falling then sharply as we get to the middle of next week. Well, we've spent more days like this with what we call an overcast sky. When we say that, we're talking about 90% of the sky covered by clouds, whereas partly sunny conditions would be only 10 to 50% of the sky covered by clouds, and then mostly cloudy is snugly in between those. 30 degrees in the morning, a few flurries. Lunchtime temperature just moves a little bit. Remember, we had a total temperature range of 3 degrees today from morning low to afternoon high, and it won't be much different tomorrow. Wind will be out of the northeast and remain light. There's all the cloud cover. May see a flurry or two, and with a light wind, temperatures settling into about 35, which is average for this time of year. Thursday, that's our chance that we'll see a little bit of sunshine. Temperature at noon 36, afternoon high 38 degrees. I show you our forecast model. Most of the time, this is just for timing and location of precipitation. In this case, I just want to show you how the clouds thin out a bit, giving us a shot at some sunshine during the day Thursday. Temperatures a little warmer, upper 30s. That's a base temperature from which we'll continue to warm up. Saturday, 40 degrees. The weather system that comes in Saturday fairly weak. I don't think it will bring too much with it. Could see a little rain or snow, but the chance small. 46 on Sunday. Here's your 7-day forecast. Remember, I'd matched the coolest morning, 28 with the day of the week. That's Thursday morning. Warmest afternoon. We have to wait for it. Early next week at 58. Groundhog Day on Sunday with a little mixture of clouds and sunshine and 46 degrees. All right. Surprise me, Dave. Make me happy as a Purdue alum. What happened today?
We're going to try. Don't hold your breath, though. Good evening to you. Who knew games at Rutgers could be so big in the month of January, right? Scarlet Knights ranked 25th. Purdue trying to get right heading into the month of February. Matt Pater got to get something going on the road this season, but they were slow out of the gate once again. Montrez Mathis into Miles Johnson for the jam. He had 7 and 7. Rutgers up by 13. Now, Purdue chipped away at it in the second half. Nice little pick and roll. Matt Harms finishes with the flush. Cut the lead to 3, but Rutgers continues their magical season, 70-63. Trevion Williams had 17 in the losing effort. Butler trying to build on their dub over Marquette over the weekend and at Georgetown tonight. The story was Sean McDermott, absolutely on fire. Already hit 6 threes tonight. Game tied at 64. Under a minute to play, and McDermott delivers again. Ties his career high with his 7th three-pointer. He had a game high 25. Down 14 in the first half. Dogs come back 69-64. Nice road dub there. They host Providence on Saturday. More from Marion. Scott Hady's guys having a really nice season. Ranked 8th this season. Hosting Taylor tonight. Taylor Trojans at the Dark Unis. Jason Hubbard the drive and dunk. Tight game really the whole way, but here comes Marion. Fisher's own Cameron Walter working in the paint. Spin move and scores. Last night we told you about the story of senior Jonathan Wankwo, the young man from Nigeria. Watch him clean out the mess, 2 of his 10. But Hayden Lankable, he was the story. The sophomore from Morristown had a game-high 24. Marion wins at 79-74. Those second-ranked Indiana Wesleyan on Saturday. And tomorrow night, the night Pacer fans, Pacer players, old Victor Oladipo himself, they've all been waiting for. Returns a year after that ruptured quad tendon to take on the Bulls.
Nervousness, anxiety, what are you feeling right now 24 hours ahead of this?
I feel great. I don't expect to go out there and get 40, but my mentality is that I'm going to get 40, so that's not going to change.
We shall see. And tomorrow night at 6, Vic on 6 returns before the game. Our exclusive as Vic also reintroduces his Dunk Cancer program. We visit Little Red Door Cancer Agency, where young people are already receiving the benefits tomorrow at 6 only on RTV6. Got word that the ticket sales have gone up for tomorrow night at Bankers Life.
Really?
I'm sure. I wonder why. Should be a great packed house. It's going to be a great atmosphere. Look forward to it tomorrow night.
Thanks, Dave, for that.
Well, coming up, better pay and better technology, the benefits being offered in an effort to recruit new truck drivers around the country.
Dream Mattress Studio at Value City Furniture.
The trucking industry is hiring Hoosiers in an effort to build up the next generation of drivers.
And according to the U.S. Census Bureau, the number of truck drivers is at an all-time high, but that's still not enough to keep up with the growing demand.
Yeah, Scripps reporter Kai Beach explains the incentives being offered around the country to get more people behind the wheel.
You're going to back it in until the front of your truck stops at the first standing cone.
Being a truck driver isn't the draw it used to be.
And stop it right there.
At Excel Driver Services, they're grinding gears, trying to figure out how to get more people behind the wheel of big rigs.
I think it's a big issue. I think you've seen companies go out of business because they can't get safe drivers to operate their equipment.
Excel owner Jason Emery says America has a major shortage of licensed truck drivers. And the numbers support it. According to the American Trucking Associations, the industry was short more than 60,000 drivers in 2018. That's almost a 20% increase from the year before. And the ATA reports a need to hire more than 1 million new drivers over the next decade to keep up with the growing transportation demand.
There's a huge need for qualified truck drivers. Every company in this town is looking for drivers right now.
Emery says the major reason for the decline is that many drivers are getting older and retiring. Now the industry is trying to attract younger drivers. People like Shelby Stenick, who's changing careers from a frac hand in the oil fields to a truck driver on the interstates.
Fired up. Career-wise, making that extra money, put that money in my pocket, you know. Being able to provide for myself, my family, and my friends.
According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the starting pay for a truck driver is around $44,000 a year.
Make sure you signal.
But after a few years on the road,
I would say so.
The ATA says drivers can easily make 6 figures driving an 18-wheeler. Economists say fewer truck drivers on the road could end up costing you a lot more money.
For the last several years, we've gotten used to free shipping and one-day shipping, and give it to me right now, and maybe that can't continue.
Christina Huber is a professor of economics at Metropolitan State University, Denver. She says with more online shopping and fewer drivers to transport the goods, shipping costs could skyrocket.
If they're having trouble attracting drivers to the industry, then the only way to alleviate that shortage is to make it more attractive for them to enter.
To attract more drivers, many companies are increasing pay. They're also using new technology to train a new generation of drivers.
What we've decided to do in a couple of years ago is to purchase a simulator company, and now we're building our own systems to change and evolve how we train drivers.
Evolving to get more drivers to live life on the open road. And keep on trucking. I'm Kai Beach reporting.
To learn more about truck driving opportunities in our area or any other career opportunities, go to hiringhoosiers.com. We'll be right back.
Toyota. Let's go places.
Okay, a few flurries around in the morning. I almost messed that up.
You're right.
33 at noon.
It's only rehearsal. Don't worry about it.
The afternoon high at 35. This is why I'm distracted, because I just want to show you what's happening at the Gregory house right now.
He wants to go home.
What are we making here?
That's
Midnight
cookie
snack.
dough, and it's a whole lot of it.
Yeah, it is. Enough for us to all.
She's going to burn up the engine.
Is Sue making extras? Is she making extras?
You know, I don't stay looking like this by eating a lot of it.
All right, off to get the cookies. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Priorities.